Hi, my name is Jorge. I'm a regulated international student immigration advisor here at Cambrian College, and today we're going to talk about RealityCheck for international students in Sudbury. So, international students are eligible to work 24 hours per week off campus while they're studying full-time, and the condition is mentioned on their study permit. They're also eligible to work on campus on top of those 24 hours. And once they graduate, they are also eligible to apply for post-graduation work permit if they follow the conditions on their study permit. So international students can work 24 hours off campus while they're registered full-time. During regular scheduled breaks like reading week in between semesters, they're eligible to work full-time without any limit of hours. And if they complete a program that is eligible for post-graduation work permit and they're going to take a new program that is also eligible for post-graduation work permit, they may also be eligible to work full-time following the conditions on their permit. So to find employment here in Sudbury, you have to take into consideration a few things. Number one, I would say, because your primary occupation is to study. That's your first responsibility. So you have to adjust your work schedule around your studies. And sometimes your timetable from your studies will be like up and down, mornings one day, afternoons another day. So that makes it a little bit challenging sometimes to find employment. So international students, even though most of you come very prepared for work and you have a lot of experience and the education already from back home, you might have to look for a job that has more time flexibility, maybe in a restaurant or service industries, stores, at the mall. It is very difficult to find an employment in your area of expertise like IT, admin assistant, things like that, that matches your timetable. That's the main issue. It's not that there's no employment, it's that usually those type of employment require full-time availability, which you don't have while you're studying. Then there's also opportunities on campus here at Cambrian, for example, where you can work around your timetable and it's a little bit more flexible, but there's a lot of competition because we have, let's say, 2,000 students, but we only have 100, 200 positions for international students on campus. So it's very competitive. So you gotta build your resume, you gotta do mock interviews. So I suggest you visit the Career Center to work on your resume and your interview skills. And finally, like some programs have a co-op or a placement. Sometimes those may be paid or may not be paid depending on the program. So that's just another opportunity that you have to work while you're studying. So working more than the allowed hours, it's a big problem because remember, IRCC wants you to follow the guidelines, the regulations, the conditions on your study permit. So don't do it. It is your job to follow your study permit conditions. It's IRCC's job to make sure that you're following those conditions. That may impact your future eligibility, your future applications. It could be your future study permit extension or post-graduation work permit. Even your permanent residency application, IRCC may go back to review and you follow the guidelines and the conditions of each permit that you have had ever since you came to Canada. So don't work more than the allowed time. My first advice would be focus on your studies and make a timetable of your own. Like you have your school's timetable and you might also have an employment. So you need to organize yourself. I would suggest color coding, prioritizing your assignments, for example. Don't stop doing your assignments because you have a shift to work, because studying is your primary occupation. And if you miss the shift, you might get some word with your manager, but if you miss an assignment, eventually you might fail a course. If you fail a course, that might end up extending your duration of study of your program, and you'll need a study permit extensions. For that, you'll need a lot of money. to show to IRCC. So prioritize your studies as number one, and then comes work. So you can leverage some supports that we have here on campus. If you're having difficulty studying, or you're having a rough time organizing yourself, there's some supports you can reach. First of all, I would suggest learning centers to get some studying strategies, some memorizing strategies that you can get at the learning center located in the library. Then I would also suggest you visit maybe Glen Crombie Center. They might have some techniques on how to adjust and balance study and work and even personal life, because you also need to rest. You also need to take care of yourself. Thank you so much for your attention. We'll be back with more videos. This is Jorge from Cambrian International.